Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm Beam, and today I'm finna show you guys how to basically get one of the cleanest, sharpest lines. My client here, as you guys could tell, we finna do a nice clean lineup. I'm gonna show you guys how to identify any of my holes that I have in the gap, but also how to create a nice clean taper, and then how to keep the beard as wide as possible, and how to use the 3-level enhancement technique to take this thing to the whole different stratosphere. Just strap in with me, focus up with me, let's get right to it. So for this client, as you guys can see, he got a fresh set of braids. I'm looking at everything that's not attached in the braids, and I want to bring everything down, right? So I'm gonna bring everything down. I want to comb at the beard as well, keep everything how it should be. He has a taper in the back, so I want to ensure that that's done as well. The objective is to get all his hair down to a desired length. So what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to prep this hair with a number 1 guard. I'm gonna close my clippers halfway, and I'm using the FX1, and I just want to go with the grain and slowly but surely just debulk this area, get one desired length to bring everything down before prepping it for a taper. Close them slightly but surely if I'm not cutting too much hair, and just bring everything down. I'm on the tips of the client hair, so I want to make sure that I get everything down to that desired length. Let's move to the other side. We just prepping hair and bringing everything forward, and as you guys could tell, we're just finna bring everything down. I want to do a low ball taper on him, so I still want to show his C cup, but I want to create a nice clean bursted taper look. So I'm gonna hold this braid back here, and as you guys could tell, this is all exposed. So I want to go in a circular motion, creating a nice circular ball line, using just the edges of my teeth. And as you guys could tell, it's a nice clean circular ball line. That part is done. I'm gonna drop this beard just a tad bit right here. My next step, completely open using my FX1s. I'm gonna give myself half of an inch, create this panel. We did a ball line, we got an open line, and now my number 1 completely open. I'm gonna take that all the way to the ridge area, but I also wanna hold and pin the braid down so I don't take too much hair away from the parted or braided area. Now completely close here. So now as you guys can see, completely closed. Now I got slight darkness in this area, and with my 1/16 guard halfway, and just use the edges of my teeth and make everything consistent as possible. Slowly but surely we are able to fade this area, create a nice transition, and not take too much hair from this area. Completely closed now, just using the edge of my teeth, and I'm just working on this area. Completely closed, just on the edge of this area. All right, let's bring it all the way together now. This area, the open area, we're gonna go completely closed, edges of my teeth. And I'm just flicking in a circular motion, creating a transition in this area. Drop them halfway, same thing. In a circular motion, just hitting the black hairs, creating a nice clean transition. Not completely open, doing the same thing. But not going too high, not forcing nothing, but creating a smooth transition. And now back with my 1/16 guard, completely open. I just want to lay the edges of my hairs down on the end. Okay, my next step now is to blend this beard area in. I want to go completely open, half of an inch. Now I'm gonna drop them halfway here and go half of that line. And now completely close, half of this line. Now with my number 1 guard, completely open, and I'm just using the hilt of my blade. I don't want to lay my clipper flat here, because I don't want to take too much from this beard area. But I want to create a transition within itself to get a nice clean fade in this area. Completely closed, just the edges, my 1/16, which is basically my 0.5 guard, completely open. Just the edges of the hair. And as you guys can tell, I pretty much got everything how I want. I got slight darkness here, so I'm gonna drop these halfway. And as you guys can tell, I got it balded here, it's darker here, it's darker here. Slight transition in this area, and one side of the taper is done. All right, so I'm gonna have him look down. He got a taper area here. I'm gonna go in, come and give myself some room to create a nice clean taper. Now completely open. Now halfway. Close. Completely close with a 1. All the way open. So now I want to repeat the same steps. Get a clean taper or a clean bursted low taper. Come in, create a roundabout. That's about a half of an inch. Clear that panel. Go completely open, half of an inch. Open, half of an inch. Completely close. Now completely halfway.
Yeah, we'll be here all day.
Second notch. Completely closed. Open halfway on the top of the beard. Halfway closed. Close. Halfway. I want to go in using some holding spray. I got everything prepped. I got the taper how I want it. Got it faded into the beard how I want it. So I want to go in and add some holding spray. All right, today we'll be using the Hair Building Fibers by Tomb 45. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to enhance a beard, but also how to make an extra $5 revenue behind your chair during any haircut service. So let me show you guys exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in. As you guys can see, the client has a real big beard. It's super wide. He doesn't want any of this beard taken off, or he doesn't want the width of the beard down. So what I'm going to do is I can go in and fill in some of the lighter spots of the beard. With that being said, as you guys can see, lighter spots here, and always comb, as you guys can see. That is how you fill in the beard area using the hair building fibers. You want to be able to apply these fibers before using any holding spray, because you want to be able to move the fibers if too dark in a certain spot. As you guys can see, all of the lighter spots in the lineup, we just want to add slight enhancement to give it more of a fuller look. As you guys can see, slowly but surely, putting some of the lighter spots in there. So my next step, with my number one guard completely open, I'm gonna trim some of this mustache area down. So now that we got that part out the way, let's go in and let's add some holding spray on the beard, and now let's set it off. Okay, so for the lineup, I'm gonna go in and hit these vertical areas. And as you guys can see, I'm creating a nice clean lineup. And now we have a nice clean lineup on the nape line. So now I'm here. Now I'm gonna go in and just wipe off any excess. Okay, so today I'm gonna show you guys basically how to get a straight lineup and my method of getting a straight lineup. I'm gonna start you guys off using just some vertical bars and setting up reference points to get that straight line. Let's get into it. I'm gonna calm everything down, but I wanna set my first vertical bar in. My next step, I want to do the second vertical bar, so keep coming around. Those are my first two forms of reference points that allow me to kind of see this lineup, no matter how wiggly or which side is higher than the other. So I got my reference A, my reference B, now I'm finna lay my reference C. And now I have three reference points. Reference A, reference B, reference C. Now let's play connect the dots to create a straight line. And let's repeat the same steps to the other side to get the straight line up now. No matter how lighter the hair is or how spacious it is, because I set those reference points of A, B, and C, even with my hand in the middle, you can see each side of the lineup, no matter how many light spots you have, to still create a straight lineup. Now I have a straight lineup. Start on my right side, so create an indentation mark right here. Slight indentation. Let's create an indentation mark towards the bottom. And let's drag it all the way into it. As you guys can see, we got a nice reference point, and my reference point C led into that corner to create that 90-degree angle. So this whole time, I'm basically showing you guys how to create reference points to make straight lines. Let's go ahead and repeat some of the same steps and do it to the opposite side. This lineup is about this many teeth. So I can go over and transition that here, and to know that that lineup area is about the same length as the other one. I just don't take no hair from it, and I can pretty much get the same type of lineup. So start my first indentation here. This is one reference point. My second reference point is towards the bottom, and as you guys can see, just this small area that was hit. I can kind of bring that up with my right hand and curve into that lineup naturally without taking away from, but just giving slight foundation. Because every lineup is considered a pushback It just depends how professionally pushed back it is, seeing that nobody grows a perfect lineup. So as you guys can see, we got a clean, nice ghost line. It's a little bit lighter in that corner, but we have foundation. We got solidified lines. Let's take this thing to the next level.
You know, we always talk about different products with Tune 45, but I believe that there's one that is underrated that you never hear about, and is my favorite product. This right here, it's a little empty as you can see because I use it all the time, but the Tune 45 airbrush cleaner for the Beam Team XL, or if you use a regular compressor, you can use it. But anyways, this stuff is phenomenal. Let me tell you what, airbrush gun, it used to get clogged up all the time, but ever since we got this, man, I don't know what kind of magic they put in this stuff, but let me tell you what, man, it cleans your airbrush. I just put it in there and I leave it overnight. When I get here in the morning, it's ready to go, never clogs up, and it's all because of this stuff right here. So you better get you some of this if you use your airbrush.
One of the biggest steps of the 3-level enhancement technique course is basically understanding and knowing why you're doing certain things. We got solid foundation. It don't have to be the crispiest line, but the foundation needs to be solid enough before we add color. My next step is to go in with a waterproof base, which is our color No Drip here. This color is a non-chemical based product, but it's also waterproof, and this color stains the skin. So it can do everything that every other color can do, but with this, we're not worrying about having to patch test. I'm also gonna be using the Enhancement color card, which is gonna help me stay in my boundaries and disperse and clean color throughout this lineup. So let's just apply this right now. And I basically wanna back it all the way up to his vertical bar area, and I wanna burst this color to create nice thin layers so the color doesn't apply itself too dark. And I'll focus on the corner, not applying too much, but layering this color layer by layer. Slowly but surely, layering this color so it doesn't come out too dark and look too fake. The best part about No Drip is that it's a matte color, so once this dries up, it has a dry look opposed to a wet, shiny look, which is allowing me to have the perfect waterproof base before adding any other colors. So the next step in this 3-level enhancement technique course is basically adding the fibers behind it. So as you guys seen, I added the fibers earlier to create a more of a fuller look on the beard. So the difference between the No Drip and the fibers is that No Drip act as my waterproof base, allowing me to color just my landline, and my fibers is going to build on top of that hair and create a more realistic look. And slowly just burst this color into it and a more dense look. So now I'm going in and I'm just basically blow drying this area. I'm actually using cool air now. Cool air helps me get the ash lines better. So my next steps now is just to retrace my lineup. I don't want to add too many. Same thing here. I'm just running over this real quick. I'm gonna use my precision pack pencil. I'm gonna go in and create nice thin lines. As you guys can see, thin lines, thin lines. Same thing here, thin lines. Creating these thin lines that just make it easier for me to remove them. Bringing everything together. I basically want to blend some of this line out and conceal some of this line out. As you guys can tell, as I hit the line and pull away from it, I go to the top of the beard line with the Tune 45 razor. Go directly at the top. Give it some shape, give it some life. Can't put a line on something like that without cleaning it up, so. Because we just already put a nice line on it, so you want to be able to clean it up. And voila, here we go.